finally getting into Champ Select.
We're doing it! We're loading it, guys. We're loading it.
One, the rematch of the 2024 World Finals. Best of 5 starting off here. First ban from BLG on that blue side will be the... Speaking of mid-jungle, I'm thinking about Pantheon, man. We're talking about powerful champions on the patch. Right there, it is locked in for T1. Pantheon is scary to begin with. In a lot of people's eyes, he's the best jungler on the patch.
Pair with Annie, like what are you saying? Orianna? Okay, much better. I am not a fan of Annie because it's very easy to queue. Orianna does have the move speed and has already to pull back Talia.
A little bit more mid control and solid way.
Pico, Orianna, Faker, Shockwave. Why is the board?
Does potentially open up for a Jarvan possibility for Beishuan. I wonder if he will just lean more towards the Xinjiao that we've been seeing a lot from him.
That
you
is
can
an
also
early
go
Sion.
towards
That
something
is
like
an early Sion. Been a Sion duty.
You can go into the jungle with this. You can play from the support position
Yorick,
with this.
이거 맞냐고요?
Into the top lane.
Yorick? Seriously?
Yeah,
전판 방금 요릭이 털리는 걸 보고 와가지고 그런 거 같긴 한데 도란 선수라면 다를까? Nico, never mind.
Nico right now is the hover.
Nico.
And it's going to be locked in immediately.
Area Nico is clean. We already saw it at MSI. MSI에서 이미 CF전에서 니코가 나왔죠, 1세트. Holy Renata.
Another champion.
0704. 영승 칼리스타 레나타. 서로 영승을 달리고 있네. 이겼다. 이건 이겼다. We won. Statistics is never wrong, by the way. There's a reason why there's 0-11. 칼리 레나타가 영승 11패인 이유가 있거든요. Jin, Gumayushi Jin.
Is the Jin for Gumayushi. So Jin Nico
Comfort zone
versus Kalista Renata here in the bottom lane.
As the reigning world
Okay,
champions,
game
Doran gonna
one
face
start.
check.
Yeah, Doran walks right into the brush there. Beishuan's waiting, and so is Knight. Doran's going to take a lot more damage here than he would like to. Beishuan and Knight continue their chase. More rocks are flying out. Beishuan's going in. Doran nearly killed off, but he...
이걸 살아 진짜! 이걸 살다니. I thought Knight was gonna flash Q. Oh my gosh, his HP is back, but he's not gonna have potion then. 포션이 없어 근데 라인전에서. Oh my gosh, Beishuan's gonna regank his ass. Pantheon wants to path bot lane though. You have to play towards Jin, Nico. 알아서 해야 돼요, 유리. 그냥 갱 당해서 죽든 말든 그냥 알아서 하고. 이거 봐, 뽀피가 탑동선 탈 거잖아? 근데 우리는 바텀이거든. 괜찮아, 안 죽었으면 된 거야, 그리고. 플래시 뺐잖아요. World 2024, 페이커 사일런스, 페이커 갈리오! 페이커 사일런스, 락한금 가져가서 미드에 그 슈퍼플레이.
For the 3-2 victory to hoist the Summoner's Cup, and you know BLG are hungry to get revenge for that loss here at MSI. He's going to path up towards this top lane.
Flash
Doran's going to
Doran.
board the Pixel Brush at exactly the same time that Beishuan's making his entry. Doran with a nice use of the cage there. Does block Beishuan's ideal entry point, but still a little bit of damage from the Poppy to harass Doran a little bit more, but not really a huge threat coming out just yet. Doran manages to keep himself at a draw.
안 죽은 거 좋은데? Poppy's here to contest the Raptors.
To play. Mark those chickens, steal them away
Nico
at
can
every
go up
respawn you can
faster.
get, but
No,
Beishuan
Renata's
is here to
faster.
contest, wants to fight Owner for this second set of the chickens. Owner, though, has the smite on the large chicken. Is on, has to sidestep the deadly flourish down in the bottom lane. Scrap at the same time.
이거거든 판테온을 그냥 초반에 인베 들어가서 라인은 다 주도권이 라인이랑 같이 바탕으로. I mean, that's the thing with Pantheon, like they always just invade. Every time I look at Pantheon, the Pantheon just invading early game. 라인은 굴린데 어쩔 수 없어. 수업 당하면 어쩔 수 없어. You get swapped on, so you're playing weak-sided, meaning that there's two people while you're only one person. Definitely have to play a little bit safe because your team is grabbing a free dragon in the bot side. 바텀에서 근데 용을 공짜로 챙기기 때문에 이 정도면은 나쁘지 않거든요. Okay, Doran has a flash. Doran has a flash. Oh, he's gonna get queued back. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he's a kill. Oh my. Not a proper weak-side gamer. Not weak-side gaming, probably. 근데 안 죽어야 되는데 이렇게 이제 칼리스한테 킬을 주면은 성공가 낮다. Knight doesn't have flash. Knight doesn't have flash. He just had the flash.
A lot of farm away from
탑 웨이브는 그래도 진이 다 먹으니까. Bin is grabbing the bot tower plane.
We don't get a chance to talk about the previous play.
Yeah, Carry is already in danger. Remember, he used his flash trying to go after Knight. Now he's already dead. Owner wants to jump in and make something else happen, but he has to flash back over the wall. As on Elk and Beishwan continue going forward. Elk needs a bailout if he wants to survive.
Bailout! No! Jin! Oh my gosh, Jin is not gonna be able to finish him. No!
Tries to fire
Jin has ulti.
back,
Jin has
but he's
ulti.
gotta reload the gun. Now the
제발 그만! Please! Okay, he got the poppy. He got the poppy. 아, 씨, 저거 궁 좀만 더 밟았었으면 다 잡았는데. He could have killed at least 2, possibly 3, if he was hitting the ult.
And BLG deliver, finding kill after kill, all being funneled into Elk is a fantastic start for BLG.
Doran hasn't died more than one time, so it's good.
T1 do not want to give this up without a fight.
Owner jumps in, immediately goes for the stun on the Knight. Carry with a
Carry on! The pop listen! Oh my gosh, there's no follow-up though. Uh-oh. Elk is 10 HP. Oh, the bailout! The bailout! Nice! The bailout! The bailout! Faker Shockwave! Faker!
T1
Holy.
flipped the fight on its head, and they
Oh,
get
that Nico engage was
themselves
so good, but then
3 kills.
bailout
BLG,
coming through?
It
I was
looked
so scared.
good at the start of the fight
우노
for them.
선수가 잡히는
Faker wasn't
그림이었으면은
involved. He
칼리스도
had
안
to go the
잡히고
long way round.
우리아나 풀콤보에 안
Owner
잡혀가지고
initiates the play.
난리가 나는데
Carrier's ultimate looks
Owner
fantastic, but then
actually
the
living
re-engage
here was
from
watching the
BLG is
gun,
even
but I think it's
better.
because of his
Carrier's out of
healing
tools.
coming through
He
from
has to
his...
flash away.
What's this?
They're thinking, oh,
평타.
Elk, he can come back to life if he can just get the kill, but then the shockwave comes through and finishes him off. Faker arrives at just the
T1
right
is just
time
better, guys.
to secure
T1 is
a
just
double
better.
kill. T1 get 3, they get the
T1이
dragon,
그냥...
and they take firm control
와,
in
더
this early
잘하는데?
game.
There's a reason that this champion is considered by many to be the best jungler on the patch as Beishwan goes in for Faker, and now it's trouble for the T1 mid lane. The handshake pulls him right on back. Knight's got enough damage and a shutdown for BLG.
Now BLG are not the type of team to go out without a fight. Nice pick onto Faker. They've really needed to get some gold back into Knight's pockets.
Knight on this Talia, that could be the playmaker they need, and they're trying to get him there with plays like this.
A nice flash shockwave from Faker, but then he gets handshaked back into the team. He then decides in his last moments, maybe I can get a few more minion waves. But he's just going to shake that one off. A nice collapse comes through from BLG. You can now see the
Never
goal
talking
difference
again,
between
because
the
when
two
I
mid lane is
talk,
very even,
apparently
but the
I'll...
gold advantage
I'm cursing
largely
people
sitting
real
on
time.
Ona and Gumayushi.
Plates you can see here as
jinxing
we
T1
are now
real
past
time?
that 14-minute point. A few for both sides, but not a major
Never
difference in the
complimenting
game
again.
being decided
칭찬 더
by
이상
them.
하면 안
However,
되겠구만요.
the difference in place is kind of
칭찬
the goal
금지.
lead right now for T1. The game is that close. Only a couple hundred seconds remaining on that cooldown to use that to make his way into the fight. But Faker has been found out. Beishwan tackles Faker out of the decimating smash, and Owner's made his way into the fight, but he's immediately ejected by the keeper's verdict. Faker
Mr. Faker,
still under
you
pressure.
okay?
Decimating
Faker's
smash
fine.
hits
Faker's
this time, but Ben and
Okay, but
Beishwan don't have
Ben
his
is not
damage.
fine. Ben is
tries
not
to get
fine.
away, but Apocalypse blocks him up.
Oh, wait,
A
wait,
deadly
come on.
flourish to follow. Hostile
Come on,
takeover
come
saves
on.
Ben's
He has flash, he has
life,
flash,
and
he's fine.
Elk trying to
He just
fire
runs.
into Gumayushi.
He
Elk
runs.
goes forward.
He runs.
Gumayushi
He
still
runs.
shielded.
They're too deep. They're too deep. They're too deep. They're too deep. They are too deep. 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 Too deep.
And BLG way overplay their hand.
T1 do not lose a
And
single
Doran's just grabbing
member.
power for free.
BLG
gotta pack it up,
collapse onto
guys.
Faker, but the Avengers
와, T1 그냥
descend
개
in an
잘한다. 와,
instant.
the hell.
T1 are there to
They're
protect
just so
their mid
good.
laner.
That Pantheon
They
is
turn
so
the play
crisp.
massively in their favor, getting 3 kills as
Nico?
well. You called it, Flowers. The synergy knocking him out of
Look at that.
Bin's Q means that that extra
Call an
bit of
ambulance?
damage doesn't connect on the
Not
Faker.
for
A good
Faker.
shockwave buys time for Ona
But
to
for
arrive.
BLG.
But then when Ona gets knocked out, Bin thinks
아니,
that there's a
페이커
way for
선수
him to
우리
turn
하나
the play
진짜
still in his
예술인데.
favor. He's then forced
Bro,
back.
I'm gonna
He has
cry.
to flash away.
Faker's Orianna
On
is
and
so
Elk
clean,
make
I don't
their presence
know.
known, isolating Gumayushi.
And Guma's getting
But
caught up.
then at this
But
point,
no.
you feel like you're going
He's just
too
baiting
deep.
though.
We're back to live.
We're already back to live, and
Not the
Faker's got
Fevi
another
cursing.
target on his back. He's got another shockwave on BLG, and
고정파 돌아왔냐고! 고정파! 아니 그냥 오리아나 구 하나하나마다 진짜 나 소름 돋는데? 눈물 나올 것 같아요, 진짜로. Find some more! Faker shockwave!
But he only finds himself with a single death
Keeps
so far
finding
in this game.
them all.
Dragon spawning, 30 seconds, Bin unleashes.
Bin unleashes,
That's a
he
clone.
finds a target, but it's only a Nico clone. The power of this ability has now another
they're
catch
falling
for
apart.
T1.
Oh,
Spells the
Beach one
end
is
of
tilted. Beach one
in
is
this river.
tilted.
The death timer's 30,
BLG
the
is
drink
just
timer's
tilted, guys.
15. This is going to be sole point
This
for
is
the
just
side of
like
T1. 17 minutes into the
absolute
game.
beatdown by
Meanwhile,
T1 so
we
far.
haven't seen Doran in a while.
Don't wanna be a
That's 'cause
game
he's
on
doing
ending,
a little
but
bit of
like,
construction work in the side lanes, flashing
Doran.
after Knight to try to get this kill.
Are you sure about that,
The man
Doran?
in the mist, giving him the lifesteal. He's trying to sidestep. He only needed an inch to get close enough to swing the shovel, but Knight denies it. While Doran drops to the BLG mid laner in the top side,
I mean, it was a good try. I think he didn't realize the Sheriff's Embrace has been completed by Talia. I'm professional Doran lawyer,
He
guys.
has been achieving those objectives. 4,000
Full-time
gold lead,
lawyer for
free
Doran.
Drake lead for the side of T1. All BLG really has here are those 3 Void Grubs, but Vedius, when you're this far down, you can't get to the turrets.
Mr. Doran?
First to be saved
Yo, Flash,
by
are you
Elf,
okay?
As Doran's
He's
gonna
not
take a
okay.
ton of damage in a counterattack. Nice kill for BLG, and they're about to make it 2. Carrier in danger, but now
Is he in
Baseline
danger?
stunned up by
No.
the Pantheon, forced to flash to survive.
Mr.
Faker flashes forward, but he can't get the distance in time. He keeps looking
Faker?
for more. Owner wants to make his way in with another shockwave, finding its way into hell.
T1 is
Goma
just
Yoshi's got his
dominating.
number, and T1's counting by.
양악인데? 아니 거의 뭐 와! Carrier hit the one in the back too! Beitron got it! Oh, Beitron got clipped by the Carrier E just keeps connecting every single time.
BLG get a kill onto Doran, but look at
Now
what it cost
this
them. 4
is some
members
good
fall,
League of Legends.
and T1
Holy
are
moly.
steamrolling over BLG.
Doran's kind of running it, but it's okay.
With On getting caught in the mid lane,
Doesn't even
but
matter.
Elk has the ultimate to bring him to safety.
He's
Then
baiting
with the
them.
Renata ultimate
Look at the Kalista and Renata, it's so deep by
now
the way.
BLG see an
So at this
opportunity
point,
to go
if
onto
Pantheon
the
ult is
offensive,
in,
but they go
Kalista's
too
just
deep.
completely
The single
caught on the
target
enemy
CC
team, right?
that comes out from T1 forces Baseline immediately on the retreat, and Faker says, I don't need to run away, I need to run forward. I know that I have Owner at my back. The shockwave connects
The
on the Elk.
shockwave on Pantheon. 와 진짜 오리아나 진짜 눈물나게 잘하네 진짜.
Just too late to turn the fight in their
This
favor.
Oriana is so good. Holy moly.
Onto 2. Each one's found an angle in.
This is another
Oh,
one
that
of this
didn't
play
connect.
we've seen so
What?
often.
Again?
Faker is the target for BLG. He
아니 그냥
drops the
궁이
shockwave,
너무 좋아,
and now
너무
BLG's
좋아.
got to be on the defensive.
His
Baseline
ultis
channels
are
keeper's
perfect
verdict
every single
ends up
time.
not needing that one.
Someone
but
check
now
his
that
PC.
cooldown is
Hello?
spent. T1 recognizing that BLG now has a very injured front line. They're going to go after the
Someone
Otacon.
check
Immediately
Faker's
ready to
PC.
start this one up as BLG know
Every
they
single
can't
one,
afford to
y'all.
give an objective away when they're already this far down. Faker trying to use the ball to zone on out.
유닝을 이렇게
Hostile
빠는
takeover
거.
goes through, but it doesn't find much of
싸움을
anything
보는 것
else. Gonna
같은데?
be zoned away now
아타칸
with the rest
보려면
of
근데
T1
판테온이
as immediately
없어가지고.
you've got a problem for Doran. Baseline takes
판테온이
him down.
없어가지고.
Good calls been
판테온이
up, but
지우진이
Baseline
부진이.
might just die here. One last shot goes through, and the fourth shot finds its mark.
Pantheon.
Trying to steal away the
Oh my gosh,
Otacon,
they have to flash
but it's
out, they have to
not gonna
flash
matter.
out.
Doran and Baseline have been traded, but everybody else is still alive.
And Faker
claims
secures the
Otacon,
Otacon
and
for jungler.
T1 thinking about a tangle
Goes a
mark
big
here, but
bonker.
he can't get the
Bonk.
range in time. Ben still here in the front line. Gets
뽀삐가
caught in the tangle
궁으로
mark. Carry
홈런을
enough to be
날려버려가지고
unraveled earth, but he
수박
stays alive
없었는데.
for now. Owner steps
다소
forward
하고요.
with the shield. Not quite enough damage. Shut down from Elk, but Faker.
Look at this position. I need to touching everything. He's gonna get pentakill. Pentakill, penta.
And only Ben is left standing. Gumayushi fires another shot, but it's a triple kill for Faker to seal the deal.
He couldn't even get a penta because there's only 4 people alive. But 페이커 포지셔닝 거의 지금 저거 양아 포지셔닝. This TP location for Faker is so insane.
He comes through the fog of war to come in from behind BLG, unsuspecting.
What the hell is? What am I watching, by the way?
Once again, a triple kill for the Oriana.
Faker is like 30.
Killed over the wall. And
Uncle, by the
T1
way.
with a statement game here to start off the series.
Baker's Oriana.
Imagine watching this live in the stadium. I'm so jealous. Oh my gosh, there they just know. They just know the gap is too big.
And T1
BLG 감독분들 너무 어이없어 하는 거 봐. 표정 봐봐요. 그냥 막 슬퍼하지도 않아. 그냥 어이없어 한다. Isn't there a word like paradoxic?
3-0-13 scoreline. Faker though the target.
Faker caught, handshake from
Is he caught or are they caught? Oh, they're caught. They're caught. Faker's not caught. Faker's not caught.
Owner ready to hunt him down. The spear doesn't hit the target.
They're caught.
Right back out of the Callista ulti, trying to stay alive. Faker with a nice use of the stasis, keeping himself alive and healthy as the curtain call opens. BLG gonna take a couple of shots from this one as big body blocks for Knight. T1 won't get any kills, but it's a big win in terms of health bars. And they head back up towards. Wait a second, Beishuan's going on a magical trip.
지금 저 탈리아 선수가 탈리아가 나이트라고요.
But the enemy jungler's at 10% HP, and he has to recall. T1 sees the green light to
팝은
go for the Baron.
비니고.
Exactly that.
저 칼리 했어?
It's too difficult for BLG to contest this objective. They're still gonna try though. The TP comes through from Knight.
It's a full send from
that's
BLG,
for us.
perhaps, as Carrier goes in, he finds the pop blossom of the
He
BLG.
was just permanent engaging. This one also. This is a slaughter. Faker is not even gonna die here.
Owner continues pressing forward, and
Guma's on a rampage. Doran's gonna get a kill too. Beishuan's still dead. Everyone on BLG is still dead, rightfully so. 술랭이야 진짜. Their T1 doesn't even care about ending. They're just trying to kill everybody.
To get the kill right after. Guma's unstoppable, and only Ben is standing. T1 slam this first game.
Wow, wow, wow.
Involved in 20 of the team's 22 kills, has the Nexus in his eyes, and is looking to close
Wow,
things out.
wow.
The Nexus turrets are nothing but a formality. Ben's health bar, the same thing as T1. It was close for about 10 minutes, and then it was
Faker shockwave finds the more again
Game 1.
for the 20th time. 20번째로 Faker shockwave, Faker shockwave, Faker shockwave, Faker shockwave.
As they dismantle BLG.
Awesome showing. So let's see if BLG can keep that pattern
끝까지
going
이쯤에.
here
맞아.
and find their way to a T1 weak spot in
Gotta
game
keep cheering,
2.
guys.
As T1 were looking good
Game 2.
in that first one. BLG over here on the blue side.
Good draft,
They're going
please.
to continue to ban away that Azir. They're also going to ban out the TF. Over on T1 side, they'll continue paying respect to the Gwen from Bin, and they're also going to make sure that BLG doesn't get their hands on a blue side first pick Varus.
See what the priority is here for these teams, with both the Pantheon and the Poppy already taken out. Vi immediately raises in value. Poppy, such a good answer into the champion. BLG taking away Faker's Galio. He did lose on it when playing against CFO, but I mean, it's Faker. You always gotta respect the man's Galio. The question is, will this Vi be
갈리오
banned away
밴은
by the
진짜
side of T1? Because you just expect it to be that.
BLG has some PTSD with
Galio
Faker
was
Galio or
also the
what?
champion in game
Huh?
5 of the World Finals that Faker had
작년
the
롤드컵
miracle
5세트에서
survival on
갈리오한테
in
된통
that
당했었거든.
topside team.
진짜 아우
Both
가.
acting as a
What else
front
is there?
line, but also
Garner?
acting as a carry player. It looks like that he's leaning more towards the front line. With
I mean, Faker's playing so good today, but
the champion hasn't had the most success here at MSI. However, Faker's hands, it is a big conflict.
Not the victor! It's a pro pick! It's a pro pick! It's a pro pick!
It's
That
not
comp
like you
is
place it down and
disgusting.
then
Look
they're
at
the
this
guy to
comp, by
stand
the
on it
way.
for
This is quite the wombo combo that BLG have
Oh,
crafted
oh
for
my gosh.
themselves.
Doran,
Cheeky
is
Lovers
Doran
coming
cooking?
through from
Okay.
T1, but it will be
Doran is
Doran's
not
Ornn,
cooking?
so that's going
It's
to be
fine.
the primary engage. But the
럼블
bot lane's
주고 오른을
available
한다?
for both sides.
지금
We
조합이
know how
상대가
the
너무
AD carry pool is for
붉은
both
색깔에다가
of
너무
these
무섭죠?
players.
Like, look at their
My
enemy comp. It's
instincts
like
say that
Annie,
BLG is
Wukong,
immediately
Rumble.
looking at something like the Misfortune.
Oh,
Just
it's like
double
red,
down on the team-wide
fire,
style that
Annie
you're already
fire,
heading in
Rumble
the direction
fire.
of. That means
Wukong
that
fucking
Rel
spinning
and
like
Leona
a monkey.
also
Like,
have
what
a
is going on?
massive
I'm
value
scared.
in this composition, either as a follow-up
I'm
or as an
terrified.
engage tool themselves alongside the Wukong.
These
I'll tell
team
you what,
fights
I mean, I
from
think our comp isn't
BLG
that bad.
are
We rounded up pretty well with
absolutely
Caitlyn in the bot
ferocious.
lane.
Rel,
캣들
Wukong,
덕분에
and Annie
조합이
all have the ability
되게
to start the
라운드
fight.
된
Then the
느낌.
other two can
그러니까 완성이 된
follow up.
느낌.
You drop the rumble
Rounded
over
up
the
better
top.
where
You bring the
because
true shot
without
barrage into
Caitlyn, like if we have a
every
weaker
single
ADC,
champion
I would be a little bit
contributes to
worried.
this
Game 2.
Game 2, here we go.
The crowd here in
경기
Vancouver continues to deliver.
Storto and a
BLG
Storto.
versus T1, always an exciting matchup so far in the early game.
Nothing happening level 1. This is great. Last game, little bit of an accident happened. 전판보다 훨씬 안정적인 1렙. 근데 빈 선수가 워낙 트래시 토크를 우리 상대로 많이 했어가지고 MSI도 그렇고. 뭔지 알지? 이게 맞긴 해 근데. 엄청 얄미웠거든. 빈 선수. 빈 선수 3대0 이거 손 사인 그거 아직도 눈 감으면 보이거든요. 그 치욕을 갚아줘야겠지? 이미 갚았지만 롤드컵에서 또 MSI에서는 아직 안 해봤잖아.
Decides to go for a recall now. Keria going to step up into that brush, saying, "Okay, we know that this guy was nearby." Guma using the cleanse there as immediately, as soon as there's distance between Keria and Guma, El can on try to step forward, play a little bit more aggressive.
불편하니까 뽀삐 있는 거 알지만. 신짜오가 두꺼비 먹으러 온 김에 살짝 봐주는 거죠. 오케이. Keria, stand behind Keria. Stand behind bro.
Nice chunk.
Guma Caitlyn. Honestly, Guma needs like a Caitlyn skin too. Like he has a Jinx skin, which is really good. And then he's gonna get a Barret skin this year. He won Barret.
It makes for a very mean combination.
And we need like a Kate Locke skin. Keria really wants a Locke skin too. Okay, T1 has to win one more world. I'm sorry to the rest of the world.
But Faker is almost completely out of mana now, hitting level 6.
롤드컵 한 번 더 우승해서 캐틀 스킨까지.
As Knight will take the opportunity,
김치국
start his
좋고요.
first recall, make his way back.
Dragon becomes a point of contention as the
떠올리로
Scuttle
맞추긴
Crab is what they're
했는데
setting their sights on for now.
Bowling wave is gonna crash.
Drops the combo there on Faker, but now Doran launching out the Ornhorn. Beishwan could be in a little bit of danger, but Bin's here ready to back him up. The equalizer's already been used.
They're just leaving Doran.
To die its first blood over to Knight and BLG.
I mean, Doran has the right idea. The problem is that
they got the chain combo onto Beishwan, but Faker wasn't in a position to follow.
The problem is Xin Zhao goes in and tries to like follow them back, and Wukong flashes out. Then what?
You really don't have that much damage this early on into the game.
You're going to get burned up by Rumble, no?
The BLG find
이게 딜이 부족하기 때문에 상체가 저렇게 3대3 싸움 노리지 않아도 될 것 같은데 뭔가 급했다. 럼블 상대로 케인이 루컨을 가기 때문에 이제 애니 상대로도 간단하다. 하지만 4명은 4 people?
into a lot of extra gold if they can knock down a bunch of these plates, and that's going to start up here in the top lane. Doran's the target as it's a 4-man dive on the T1 top laner, and Doran dies before the second part of the
Oh my gosh, if only he got the little. Oh, he
got
got the fucking R2. That would have been a kill.
For the T1
Although Beitron does have flash things down no matter what.
BLG had to commit a lot of resources to make that kill happen though. Guma and Keria
Guma's gonna get more turf angles.
Get these plates where they can. The midway was
Well,
also
we all
pushed
knew
in.
Orin's
That's
gonna
where
die a
Bin
lot
could
this game.
respond. Wise choice
We all
by
knew.
Bin, recognizing that if he stayed on the bot side of
오른이
the
이번
map, the
턴에
risk of a
죽는
dive
거는
was
당연히
very real.
예견돼 있는
So this
상황인
cross map
게
is going to happen. BLG
심장은
will
무조건
extend
캐틀
that
쪽에서
monoscope
플레이를
together
해야지
so
게임을
slightly.
이기니까 Just
2
have to
versus
watch
1.
out now.
While Faker now
I'm just
finds
worried
himself
about
in
the
side
FAKER
lane
a
with that
little bit.
upgraded
Inside
E.
lane.
Upgraded
Zhao's
E,
here to
and
cover.
he's got the Rod of
That's
Ages
cool.
already fully completed
That's
and stacking. The only additional item past his starter item he got was the refillable potion, but now he has to flash away. Beishwan's ready to follow.
물론 선수님 멤버십 가입 환영합니다. 웰컴 유튜브 미포.
Want to commit for the objective, they'll get it, but at great cost. Turret to T1, double kill over to BLG as Keria and Gumayushi trying to make a play on the Knight, but he's already back to safety.
Wombo combo is beautifully done by BLG on the bot side of the map. They connect the Rumble ultimate onto Faker. The follow-up from...
Yeah, T1's hanging around the area, but I think they're just going to get a front row seat to the Dragon dying. BLG pick up their second neutral objective this game. As a TP, though, about to arrive from T1.
I'm trying to watch the
enemy
screen, but like
territory there
opening
with the
one
red
eye.
buff. Doran's made his way in. Beishwan just blocks the winner's bite there with a clone. Doran's just going to make his way back down to the bottom lane as Owner and Keria steal away the enemy red buff. So T1 not going to find anybody straggling.
BLG Continuing with
Victor,
their
no damage
pressure.
build.
Start off
he
as
has to
neutral
survive.
objective carriers in the area,
And then
but
MA
really
team
don't
out. Like,
think
the thing is,
T1
like,
look to
even if you build
contest this. They're a
damage,
little too slow, and
can't
this
do damage if you're
objective is dying
dead.
way too fast.
Yep, not only is that going to be Rift Herald for the side
That's
of
the
BLG,
problem.
but the third neutral objective secures the third and final feat, guaranteeing that BLG has the extra power on those boots as well.
Keep on scaling, y'all. We want to make sure the game slows down. We definitely want to make sure the game slows down. That means that we're going to give objectives, probably not going to contest anything too much. Try to stay in the back, farm up, grab waves. 선스포츠 그냥 웨이브 먹고 천천히 가야 되고 더 이상 스노볼이 굴리면 안 되기 때문에 그리고 Doran grabs another flower. That's a huge W there. Good job, Doran. Brother Doran, we believe. Idea was like for power farming and waiting until late game. Yeah, I mean once you draft Orin and you pair that with Victor mid, definitely going for late game.
Can they find a fight where Bin's not very effective? And if I'm looking at BLG, I'm saying we've got to get value out of our equalizers.
I was so scared I was gonna Q flash W into Guma. I mean Guma does have flash buttons. I'm still really scared. 방금 페트라한테 Q-풀 W 박는 줄.
Now about to die. Owner goes in, immediately drops the Crescent Guard as he engages to make sure that BLG can't immediately burst him down.
I'm doubting. Don't doubt.
Still very hesitant to push out that
doubt.
top wave. He's been left isolated a lot of this game. You can see
It's
that
hard,
resulting in the
but
XP
definitely
advantage. Now
doable.
Doran caught out.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is what I
Well,
was talking about, though. Doran is only strong against magical damage. Beishwan does a lot of damage with that stick, and Knight, plenty of extra firepower to back it up there and secure the kill. 5-0 now for BLG as they get the pick on Doran. The tier 1 turret still the target for BLG. Owner and Gumayushi still defending it.
Doran's third death of the game. He got caught out just rotating towards the bot side of the map. It means that BLG continue to mount their advantages. A clean scoreline of 5-0. The TP. Oh, a double TP actually. They're trying to collapse onto Knight or Beishwan. I don't think they're really going to
Okay,
get
if we
much
can
off the
get
back of this.
Annie.
Owner, though, heavily committing on Knight.
Okay, Annie's done. Annie's done.
Really want to get some kind of a punish
Give it to
here.
Victor.
Knight still trying
Or
to get away
Owner.
when it becomes lightning, slows him down. Carrier misses the winner's bite. Exhaust used to
끝까지
guarantee the Knight can't
있어.
try
We got
to
the
get
flower
anything
as well.
back.
그래. 이거거든. Now we can grab dragon because Annie has no TP and Annie's dead. 이거 근데 미드는 밀린 것 같아요. It's okay. Don't die for the mid tower.
With the glacial fissure trying
It's fine.
to stop the exit of BLG there, but
이게
BLG can
어디야?
get away safely. They don't
이게
have
어디야?
to spend any
초반
summoner spells
접하고
doing that. Owner still working on
미드
taking
자르고
this dragon
그거를
down.
옵젝티브로 연결시키는. 안 볼래. I'm not gonna watch. And then T1's gonna win a fight because I'm not watching.
Remember again, finally we're seeing some armor on Doran here with
just
a
close
chain
your
vest,
eyes,
but
guys.
it's still
Cover your
not
eyes.
going to give him a ton of resistance
내가
against
안
the
보면은
power
이기지
of
않을까?
this Ezreal.
You can see all this vision control being invested by T1, expecting the Artican to be prioritized soon. But Gumayushi hasn't had a chance to go back to base. Is still at about 75% HP, getting a little bit of life back. But on now in a dangerous spot. We'll jump over the wall to safety. Knight going to try and push in that bot wave out, pushing in the mid wave once more. Faker working with Carrier to hold good vision control around this Artican, making it harder for BLG to start this objective off.
궁금하긴 해서 살짝씩 보고 있는데.
Void stack fully completed for Knight now too, and he has his flash up. This is a massive playmaking tool for the side of BLG.
두 levels up on Annie? 아니 근데 페이커 선수 오늘 무슨 날이야? He has 10 CS per minute? 2 levels up on Knight? 지금 애니랑 2렙 차이고 CS도 지금 거의 30개 넘게 차이를 내고 있거든. 36 gap, 2 levels up. I'm going Faker. 고전파. 고전파 상님. Really rough getting
But if they
vision
do
control.
get it, they would put themselves on soul point and have a lot of agency in this game. Elk, though, huge damage on the Carrier.
Carrier's already almost dead. Uses the Unbreakable to guarantee the True Shot Barrage. Doesn't have a
Carrier
chance
can
of
change the
executing him
TP
there,
and
but
come back. He has Spellbook.
barely able
Spellbook
to stay
TP.
standing. That is BLG's
Oh, he's staying in
go
general?
signal
He
to
doesn't have
start
Spellbook
off the
TP, I guess.
Archon. T1 looking to approach, but
탈진으로
BLG
다시
is ready
바꿨네.
for him.
이러면
The Archon
봉풀주
down to
스택
1/3
이거 못
HP. Keep
보는데.
your eyes on Doran. That could be
탈진으로
the big
다시
engage,
바꿨어.
but Knight is waiting over along in the Tri-Barrage.
Owner, you're running a little bit early, Mr. Owner. 와, 먹었어! Owner got it! Wait, we can win the fight! 이겼다! 이거 이길 수 있어. We can win the fight really easily. Owner! Elk is the two tagged by Mr. Carrier. Carrier.
trying to
Okay, never mind.
escape, and
I guess I'll do it.
T1
I think Warner's dead.
work their magic again.
T1 find the fight.
It doesn't even matter. This is a miracle, by the way. This is a miracle. We're almost 10 HP. We should not have won the fight. We should not have been able to get
Why
Otacon.
wouldn't they feel confident to start off the Otacon? Why wouldn't they feel good to try and force the fight? I think the biggest problem was that the combo from Knight came down onto Doran,
What is going on,
the
man?
frontliner, the tank. Oh, BLG though, they're
Oh, wow.
responding.
Yeah, BLG thinking about this. The Unbreakable gonna stop another true shot.
Smite coming through from Bro! 불암이 심하거든요. Spellbook Bro. 캐리어 선수가 진짜 본부제로 스마 제일 잘 쓴다. 진짜로. Well, later on the victory, I think FAKER is going to be grabbing his third light.
Farming exceptionally well. FAKER's got a 2.5 level advantage over Knight. Knight is fishing for a pick, but Owner's there to cover.
Owner's here.
Okay, Owner trying to
Owner was there. Okay, Owner's still here. Owner's still here. Okay, Owner is not there anymore. But Mr. FAKER. Stand behind Brom! Stand behind Brom! Brom!
One follows. BLG are
Let's go! Oh my gosh, Owner sacrifice.
If you're going to come at
Mr.
the
Owner,
goal, you best not miss.
we revenged you. Don't worry.
That gets one shot from the start. This is the
와,
damage
진짜
potential
오너의
that we've been talking
희생이
about
정말
from the very
대성력을
start of the game,
살리고
seeing it in action.
우창섭의
BLG
희생?
with 4
I mean, they
members on the
really
top
went
side.
deep
Think
for
they get
this.
collapse,
And Doran TP
but
behind.
Doran arrives.
And Brom is like,
Look at this
stand behind
ulti.
me.
BLG's getting collapsed on the Braum ulti from Carrier as well.
브롬이
The knocker onto
그냥 막어?
Knight.
방패로 그냥
FAKER with the assist on the back line.
다 막아버리기.
T1 respond with force.
3-level gap between mid laners.
Using
Victor is
FAKER
level
forced
17.
T1 into an awkward
Holy.
situation, but T1 maintained
I
their composure.
definitely
On the
like this
flank.
build way better than
Looking for it,
Luden's.
but he
Luden's on
immediately
Victor
gets
was
counter-engaged.
too
All
easy
has
to
to
kill
try to
him.
get away. Flashing out after using the crash down defensively as well, but a nice engage from Knight. Beishuan's ready to follow it up.
Mr. Victor!
He survives! Gumayushi with the kill into Beishuan as Elf just barely survives the ace in the hole. Owner continues the chase as On's about to die here too. Elk and Bin completely on the run.
안 죽어. They're using everything on FAKER, but FAKER's level 17 has Mertrez, has a Leandre's 400 HP, along with
There's 2 dead
Bloodletter also gives like 400 HP, or is it 250 HP? A lot of HP. And then not to mention Seraph's Embrace, right? Seraph's Embrace gives you a huge shield. As a matter of fact, I think he went bone plating as well. He went bone plating on flinching, that's huge as well.
Isolated in the mid lane.
So he can tank up like probably 900 damage.
But it's not
No, it's very, very good smite from Trimble winner.
Owner and Gumayushi putting a little bit of DPS in there,
CFO
but they're DPSing
재평가.
very slowly.
CFO는 얼마나 괴물인
trying to
거야.
walk up, seeing what they might be able to find.
이런
They're
T1
marking
상대로
Doran there
지금
with
어?
pings, but it's a
CFO
line of
almost beat
cupcakes from
T1?
Gumayushi,
How does that even happen?
and
How
it's
good
so
is
difficult to
CFO?
fight through for
Maybe
BLG.
Koi isn't just bad.
The
I think
Ocean
CFO
Dragon
just
is the
good.
target.
Right?
On wants to find some sort of an angle.
Like, look
but
how
all he gets is a face
like
full of
T1 is just
bullets.
looking
Doran has
so
joined up with the
dominant.
rest of the team, and once again they're going to go in.
Huh?
This time they find the shutdown on FAKER.
But Guma should free damage. Guma free damage. Guma, 평타. Guma free damage. I've never seen a freer Guma pentakill in my life. Guma's just running down everybody. Guma, you should free damage. FAKER might be dead.
Carrier ready to chase.
Carry on! Okay, he has spellbook smite. He has spellbook, so he can just change his smite.
But the cost is far too great. Carrier will get picked off by Elk on the back end of the fight, but T1 is pushing 2 lanes.
BLG execute upon their game plan. The wombo combo looks so good, but at this point it feels like the T1 is just too far ahead with the soul secured as well. In the extended fight, they're able to make magic happen
He's just
once
trying to keep the
more.
dopamine
2
levels high.
additional towers secured,
He's like, oh my gosh.
and BLG find themselves firmly on the
Keon
back foot.
fans are
We'll see the engage
getting
come through
complacent.
from the Mastercard price this moment.
Faker is trying to stand like a 아니 페이커 선수 포지셔닝이 근데 너무 아무리 단단하다고 해도 거의 무슨 오른급인데 He's standing like he's playing Orin. Like what? I know you're tanky, Mr. Faker.
As Doran gets lower and lower, but then the ulti from Doran with fantastic
I mean, he knows that even if he dies, he wins the fight. Still,
and BLG falls short in the fight once more.
With the 4,500
그럼 지금
gold
미카엘
lead,
가고
with the
있습니다.
push here in the top lane, Doran with the call of the Forge God, and it's on! Called straight back into the
Kuma
grave, and
템차코.
again, Gumayushi unstoppable!
Guma's a pentakill. Kuma pentakill. Kuma pentakill. Kuma pentakill. Kuma pentakill.
They end up losing one,
Double
but they
kill.
are not done.
Triple kill.
A double for Guma, make it a
펜타!
triple! Caitlin's on the
펜타를 안 줘?
She's locked and loaded!
Okay, we're ending it. We're ending it. That wave is huge. We can try that.
Inhibitor down in the top lane as it's a four-man push.
T1, 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 T1,
They were behind for so long, but when they need to, they clutch it out. They'll take the Nexus turret. Faker steps in. Elk stays alive. The Nexus will not. And T1 go up 2-0.
They were going
for BLG.
Game 3,
after
bro.
coming so close at the World
TF
Final
balancing yet again
against
into
T1,
Faker.
after having that chip
특별히
on your
도대체
shoulder
무슨
this
일을
entire
하고
time, getting the chance for a rematch.
스크림에서 페이커 선수 특별을 뭘
with a
했길래
3-0.
지금
You
승률
wanna bounce
0%.
back. The first two games
계속 배나오는지.
have gone the way of
Varus, world famous champion.
They target ban
specifically.
Nocturne,
And he's
Varus
going to be
is
able to
open.
lock that one in. And
바루스
they have to pick the lid up
탐켄치?
with how they want to match
탐켄치
up
for
into the
carrier.
fight. To think about
For
that, this
Nectar?
used to be a perma ban against him
I
specifically
don't really like
because of how
Renekton.
good he was on the champion.
제가
Still
레넥톤이
a
진짜 너무
monster
구릿구릿해서
when he gets his hands on the pick.
싫어하는데
And mid lane has
Renekton's
kind of been
corner?
left to the wayside, so BLG can
They're gonna ban
continue to
Tom
pinch
Kench,
that
though.
pool, try and put some pressure on
No?
the Faker,
Silence
as
them?
it was the Renekton
They're gonna pick
that was
Alistair
locked
then.
in for Doran to match up
Alistair
against the
하려고 하는 것
Ambess. A pretty good
같은데.
matchup in the early game. He can definitely build some leads and will also act as an effective dive buddy
Silas
alongside
Ban is
the
like,
Skunk.
hey,
So we've got top laners
we don't want
for both
your
sides. We've got junglers
Silas taking
for
Ahri
both
ulti and
sides.
killing our Ahri in the side
I
lane.
want to see
그
what this
사이드에서
second half of
아리가
bans looks like
아리
here.
궁을
The
뺏은
Silas
사일러스가
banned
들어와서
out by
아리를 잡죠.
BLG. Faker played this a lot
아리는
in
궁이
that
3번밖에
last
없는데
World Finals best of
사일러스는
five
아리 궁 3번에다가
against BLG.
E
They
한
don't want to allow
번에다가
him to have the
W까지
opportunity to
이렇게
do it here
붙는
on
스킬이
match
많아서
point, while T1
to try and bully out on that matchup. But
Tom
the
Kench
Tom
banned,
Kench as well.
역시 탐켄치 팬이구만. That's why I wanted R3 like Tom Kench from T1, but they picked Renekton
You can
instead.
see where BLG's head is at.
레넥톤 픽이 좀
Protection for the Varus,
탐켄치가 좋지
especially with how much
않았을 거라고
dive is
하지만
coming through on the side of
믿어봅시다.
BLG.
준비한 게
What
있겠죠.
support is T1 looking at?
알리가 지금 이거 뺏기면은 난리 나는 수준이라서 근데 If we lose Alistair, it's so bad by the way. But Alistair ult also counters Skarner ult as well. Super strong frontline along with like an engage. 11이면은 근데 알리스타 상대로 11은 좀 이상한데? Silver is countered by Alistair. I don't think they're gonna pick it. Yeah. Because Silver E blocks skills, but Alistair W can get blocked, but the Alistair's still on top of you. So then he is secured and E. You can't really do anything to Alistair. We're gonna be a Gragas support.
Gragas for On.
Good matchup into the Alistair can create a lot of disruption, provide a bit of peel, but can also
Bomba.
potentially open an avenue
Bomba.
for your dive to gain access onto the backline. The last pick is going to come through, and it's none other than Faker's Rise.
Then in previous games
were
in this
nice.
series, On just going to use his body slam over the wall there. The mobility on the Gragas can get you deeper into
That's
enemy
you,
lines
Chad.
than you
That's
otherwise
you.
might expect someone to
Like,
be.
call my Chad
T1 going to go
Reapers.
for a counter invade, but they are on top of an early
Bevy
ward
Rage.
from BLG.
We actually have an emote, Bevy Rage.
Immediate response from T1 to get that
Oh, I
very
think I
deep
removed that
vision
emote.
onto BLG's bot side jungle.
I should add it to 7TV.
BLG gonna
Think
power
Oscar
his
use
way.
it.
Faker, he's going to spot them out.
Faker walks right into the brush. Knight with the level 1 charm.
Yeah, Mr. Faker! He's gonna get eaten by On.
Away,
Oh
but now
my.
On continuing to put the pressure on. Faker's under pressure from the Ignite. He's healing up.
누풀! 근데 이거 괜찮은 거 아니야?
Blood
No
goes
flash
over
from Knight though.
BLG's mid laner.
Knight has to commit his
he did get first blood,
realizing that On's Ignite is the one that's likely to finish that one off.
Already started E, so she can't really
FAKER
push away from
dying there before the minions even spawn.
And she
He's
doesn't
already
flash
had to use his
See,
teleport
look.
to get back to lane and make sure that he doesn't miss EXP. So that typical handshake of mid laners trying to scale towards level 5, level 6, make their
이를
first
먼저
recall to buy a
찍고
component
무난하게
item
라인
in
칠 수
return
있으니까
will not
오히려
be there.
저기서 라이즈가 살려고 플래시 쓰면은 플래시 없는 라이즈가 바이한테 게임 당해서
very
큐플
early mid
빵.
wave push. Getting that push,
What
they
the
also
hell?
have that early ward that
아닙니다.
FAKER's been able to build a
그런
little
건
bit
아니다.
of a CS advantage in the 1v1.
Another big difference in this game that was also
Okay,
present
Guma.
in the last game. On continuing to play
Guma hitting
with
everything.
combat
Guma hitting
keystones.
everything.
The aftershock that he played on the Rel in game 2. He is also playing on the
다이아가
Gragas here
집을
in game
가는데
3.
이거 집
Meanwhile,
가고
Keria,
탑을 수업하나
once
봐.
again,
She's
taking the
gonna
summoner
recall in
spellbook.
swap
You already
for
mentioned in draft, the Alistair typically doesn't have as much lane
구마의 발을
presence as
쓰면
many other
클래스가
supports
다르죠.
do. So
구마
instead,
usually
he's
one of the
saying,
best
alright, we're
bears
just
in
going to
the
rely
world.
on
I think
Varus,
possibly
keep the
the
range, keep
best
the
bear
push,
in
and
the
he's going to
world.
use the spellbook.
On's gonna grab the wave,
Coming through
so
from Elk. A lot of farm and experience is going to be lost.
지금 이거 데프 웨이브 탄 거거든요. That's a cannon wave. That's a cannon wave gone.
So he's about half a level now behind Gumayushi.
On
He
did grab
lost
it,
a
but
wave
Elk
and
is
a
gonna
half
be
in
really
terms of
behind.
farm. FAKER
Elk is gonna be
maintaining
really behind.
control over the mid wave. His owner hovering
This is a
around.
good start with T1.
No flash,
Not too
remember,
bad.
on Knight.
Despite the first blood on FAKER.
Doran, ruthless predator.
Here?
I mean, maybe if Doran just gets really crazy, but right now he's happy to just ward the brush. Elk steps up, finds a couple of feathers there, but Doran's still just fine as Gumayushi and Keria have now made their way up here for the
Elk!
swap. Keria using the minion to gain a little bit of extra distance with a headbutt. Wants to
Olin's here to save him
pulverize.
though.
Doesn't find a whole lot else, but Elk loses a
Elk
bunch
is
of
half
health to the
HP level
piercing
2 though.
arrow of
아니 웨이브
Gumayushi, even though they don't
개방했는데?
get the full
The wave is so
And
bad.
now, yeah, Elk going for a recall.
It's gonna be frozen
This
and he's gonna
Xayah
lose so much
feels
XP.
pretty far behind.
엘크
This is
역대급으로
very
망했다.
bad for Elk.
I've
Like,
never.
he's been
Oh
denied so much
my!
farm.
It's
The
so
wave was
over for
pushing
Xayah
towards
this game.
T1's tower. The good news that
He's
this
gonna be
wave
down like
should
2
slow
levels
push
now.
back towards that top tower, but they don't find a successful swap in the sense of
그러니까
getting out of this
빈
2
선수 근데
versus 2.
집 안 가면
On now in a
바텀에서
lot of
난리
danger.
나서.
Uh-oh. Carrier's gonna
탑이
stand in the
또
way
난리
of it.
나죠.
Immediately flash, pulverize, headbutt to knock the big man back. Now with
What
owner
the
showing
hell?
up, there's no way out for On, and Gumayushi puts an arrow straight through him.
A
My.
clean play from Carrier. The flash
What
in
the hell
front
is
to
that?
give On no window
That's
of
the
escape.
Carrier.
Oh, this
Angry
is disaster
Carrier.
for Elk. Owner's hovering around. The threat of a dive is real. He recognizes that he's in serious danger. Baseron has to get
Level
over here
2
quickly.
Xayah.
Desperately needs this farm.
Baseron coming around from
인생이
the side. It is a one-level advantage for
망했어요.
the
He has
five,
a
but
flash
that's
as
not gonna
well. Oh, he
matter.
cleansed.
Elk gets
Okay.
slammed into the wall. Could have a 3v3
Okay, Baseron's
here.
looking though.
Faker's thinking
Baseron's
about
looking.
rotating over. There is a realm ward
There's a
available
TP
for the
coming through.
Rise. TP coming in now for BLG. They want to try to make a punish here against
Carrier's healed
T1.
him.
Gumayushi and
They can't
Keria
even kill them.
using the heal from the Alistair for the extra move speed to make their disengage. Faker also
텔포까지 썼는데.
walking
Oh my
up,
gosh,
not
Knight
needing
is
to use
also
the realm ward
ulting.
just yet. Baseron
Knight
continuing
is
the chase,
ulting.
but there's no ulti,
다-
no
이거
cease and
나이트
desist
선수
for the
궁까지 쓰는 거
buy. As
보면은-
Knight has the spirit rush. Faker's going to be caught out. Nice play from BLG, and Faker's taken down.
Faker comes from mid to assist with T1's escape, but he finds himself isolated in the river, and BLG doesn't waste any
Okay, I'm a
time
professional
punishing
FAKER
that.
lawyer,
A
but that one-
much-needed kill to alleviate
So
some
FAKER-
of this pressure
What are you
that was coming
doing?
down onto
What
the
are you
top
doing? What are you
side.
doing? What are you
Elk,
doing?
though, still finds himself in a very difficult position.
Professional FAKER
a
lawyer.
full level behind Gumayushi.
Full-time
He's
lawyer
down
for
about 2
FAKER,
waves.
but
Yeah, and
That
look
one
at
is
how
a little
big
bit
the
of
wave
a
is, but it's
bad
bouncing
play
straight
there.
towards Gumayushi
All you have to do
and
is just
Keria.
not even go
Elk
there.
Xayah
I think he just
is going to
push
have
just
some
mid-wave
work
and
to
then
do
he's good.
to catch back up.
Maybe he's
But
gonna
Knight
go
on his
walk up, like
famous
he could just
Ari
start backing
off
up.
to a 1-0 and
뭔가
1
더
start,
보려고 한
off
거지.
to a gold lead
상대가
against
스킬 잘
Faker.
이상하게 쓰고
In
막
both
그래서.
of these
But they're already
Xayah's
Paris
still
in no
level
position to
5,
fight.
by the way, not
Gumayushi
level
being level
6.
6 has that ulti available. That alone could be a difference maker, but without the additional damage of their AD
자야가
carry in a 3
6렙이면 아마
versus 3,
상대도
they
싸우지
would consider
않았을까.
taking it.
네,
But
자야가
as you
6렙이 아니기
recognized,
때문에
Faker TP's back into the grub pit. They generate a
그냥
4
주는
versus
걸로.
3 numbers advantage. And
Doran's actually
T1
playing pretty
secure
good this
the grubs.
game
Now
so
they can
far.
swap their top side back towards bot and start playing towards the dragon if they want. Knight takes a chunk of damage from Faker, zoning him from the wave. But here we go.
Baseline goes in.
No
There's
flash
your
for Faker.
cease and desist.
Ruthie.
Knight needs a little more damage. Faker's
Nice
level
Faker.
1 gets away to Owner, and Faker survives.
Faker.
Now in the bottom lane, Doran with the dominus, trying
What
to put
the
the pressure
hell?
onto
Just
Ben. Public
remain
execution
calm.
is still ready.
바위궁 빼고 아래궁도 빼가지고
situation for Faker to find himself in. This was the play that we were talking about from the
다른 라인이
draft.
좀 더
This is what I
편하죠.
wanted to see BLG doing to get a foothold in this game. They make
용도
the play
우리가
happen, but they don't actually have enough damage to get the kill down onto Faker. The dragon now going to be secured by T1 as well.
궁이랑
Sitting in the fog
플래시는
of war,
있는데
he's hovering around the top side of the map.
상대도 안 들어오네. Owners here, owners here, owners here. 한
한
턴만 버티면은 근데 다 잡는다. 오케이, 나이스. Owner literally every time 베이촌 tries to make a play this series, Owner's always there. 그러니까 얘 뭔가 베이촌 선수가 하려고 하는 플레이마다 오너 선수가 항상 봐주고 있어. 그 같은 always for the counter game.
The BLG top jungle duo.
명예의 정당 아리 스킨이 제일 이뻐요.
Trying to turn things
돈값을
around, but now
합니다.
Doran and Carrier in a little bit of trouble. Cease and desist there onto the Gator. Knocked right back with the explosive cast. Doran tries to find the ruthless predator, but there's nothing there. Feet of warfare.
It's okay. Faker's pushing Boeing. They don't have DP. 텔포가 없어서 근데 괜찮아요. They don't have anything. There's no Baron. There's no Herald.
Okay.
보증도 없고.
I think it was overkill.
자야 그냥 괴망했어.
Don't get me wrong, funneling resources into Knight, great idea.
Ryze
But you've just
pushing
left
ball away
Faker
for
isolated
free.
in the bot lane.
바텀
He's
계속
just
밀고
chipping
있고
away at those
라이즈는
tower plates.
타워
Got two off the
지금
back of that. He's continuing to get another wave.
미니언이
Didn't
다
have no
탔어요.
TP to go and respond.
킬을
of his
먹었지만
own,
결국
which
그렇게
meant
손해는
that,
아니다.
yeah, the actual
So
gold
that-
swing doesn't shift that much. The only real good news is that Knight gets
정확까지
a
맞았다.
couple
정확 안
stacks on his
썼으면은
Dark Seal.
Exactly. He's
바루스한테 저 두드려 맞아서 집을 가야 되는 상황? 그러면은 웨이브 또 타고 더욱더 차이가 벌어지는 거.
Malignance here early on. This item can be very powerful with champions. They get the chance to proc it multiple times with the
죽은
ulti.
것까지는 아닌 게
like
자야가
Ari
그래도
does.
궁은
Gives you
있어서
a ton of
설마
extra
죽진
cooldown too to make sure those spirit rushes are always available, and that
그래도
could be the big
스펠
playmaking
빼서
tool
웨이브
that
받아먹을 수
BLG
있는
needs
피가
to
된다.
get their
이거 봐.
first win in this series.
대포 웨이브일
to
때
take us
집
to a
가서
game
대포
4
웨이브가
and to
타워
keep the
탱킹을
fight
많이 해서
going against T1.
웨이브가
75 seconds until both the
최소한으로
dragon
웨이브가
and the
하거든요.
herald spawn. They're desynced
저런
by
걸 프로
literally
선수는 다
1
계산하죠.
second, which I
저같이
think that is always creates an interesting map state
맞박이
as
바드도
teams have
아는데.
to decide. Do you want to handshake this? Do you want to try to dissuade them
타이밍
while
잡는
also
거라서.
half-heartedly going for the other objective yourself? It's always an interesting dance.
Certainly is. BLG though looking for a quick reset. We'll see what their sights become. Okay, all right, Carrier. He's like, this is my ward on, and you are
땀난다.
forbidden from touching it.
It's even insult to injury is knocking him over the terrain. So if you want to get back to the ward, you've got to walk the walk of shame back to the ward. As Doran versus Ben,
like the gym
once
birds.
again the fight breaks out.
Gragas.
Both of these guys are seemingly way too happy to commit their ultis
boys.
to these fights, but this one ends up being good. They've got the opportunity
Varus
to
is
take the tier 1
painful.
turret. Second Drake of the
Okay,
game
if T1
is
grabs
live.
this and his
They
feed
already
strength,
got the
용
first one.
먹으면은
If
근데
they get this,
이러면은
they'll be on a
무력
nice
행사
road to
먹었다요.
stacking towards the soul.
어디서
They
넣어요?
also got the 3
넣었어.
void grubs. It's every neutral in the game
Feed of turret.
going the way of T1.
Okay, sieging mid. Where's enemy team? Like, who's
escorting
okay,
Guma from the mid lane to the bot lane. They caught that wave in bot.
You're not gonna
and
force
they
me because
secured
that
the
still
objective
has
as well.
all summoners.
Top side.
And
Once again, they're looking to put the work in on Faker and BLG. Knight is eating so good in this
와,
with 3-0-1
이게 아리 바이 파워.
on the Ari.
Ari does have
0-3-0
malignance
for
now,
Faker's
so
rise,
Faker
a
isn't
1,500
going to
gold
survive that
lead
anymore.
for BLG.
Vi just
And
locks
while
you in
T1
place,
was making
Ari
their
just
play on the
full
bottom
combos on
side,
top of
you
it.
already touched on it.
Right?
Beishwan secured the Rift Herald, so that means BLG have the opportunity to
No way to
extend the
survive.
gold lead even
The wave
further.
though? Yeah.
Now Knight could have a bit of a problem.
Okay,
He's
Doran
already
here to
used the
bench
Spirit
Faker.
Rush, and
Oh,
now
no,
he's gotta try to escape
no.
from Doran and
잡았다,
Owner,
잡았다,
but his
잡았다.
flash was
There's
already
TP behind,
spent,
maybe we can
and
turn it
Owner's
too.
ready to chase. That's a kill
Wait,
going over
Carrier
to
might have to
T1
flash.
as
Carrier
Carrier and
flash.
Gumayushi are up against the remainder
Oh,
of
Carrier
BLG.
might actually
Finn
look.
trying to distract
Flash
Doran and
in.
Owner, as now Carrier's
Okay,
ready to
he
jump
hasn't
right
flashed
back
yet,
into the
but
fight. It's
look at
Faker
this, look
trying
at
to
this.
join up with the TP.
Look at this, Faker's
He's
here.
arrived, and the Cat slides out to buy some time. But
Get him,
it's not
Mortal
enough. With a
Mr.
nice
Faker.
root
Okay,
there
he
on the
missed
blade
secure.
collar, but he gets pulled back.
Owner!
A double pair from Owner, and
Trolling
BLG are shattered.
Oh
Just
my.
like that.
What a punish from T1.
Flipped the game on its head once
What a
more.
punish from
The
T1.
momentum going so much in the
BLG
favor of
keeps
BLG. Knight is
greeting a
getting so
little
strong,
bit
but he
more.
stays
Like they
for
make a positive
wave too
play, but
many.
then they greed a little more, and T1
collapse
doesn't
onto
sit
him.
around.
They get a big shutdown.
And Carrier looks like he's
BLG
caught out,
desperate for
but
something
no.
else. Think that they've caught out Carrier. Maybe
BLG's caught out.
He's safely over the wall.
여기서 알리스타가 막 플래시로 도망가야 되나.
And then they forget
1대3이라서
that
걱정했는데
TP is available
도망가야 되는 건
for
상대
Faker.
팀이고요.
The man arrives.
1대3이 아니라
T1 are
3대1이었던
poised to
거예요.
collect these kills, and as desperately as Elk tries to escape, Faker and Owner make
Wow,
the magic
Owner.
happen. Kill after
It's kinda
kill
너무-
after kill. They take out.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah.
I couldn't have said it better myself. 5 kills to 4.
Oh yeah.
T1 now lead with the gold.
But
BLG
that's once
겁나
again the
급해진다.
most fed
어.
player on BLG being drawn away
아니,
from the
계속
battlefield.
뭔가
Owner
BLG가
continues chasing
끌려다니는
forward.
느낌이
Who
강하죠.
Yushi's gonna pick up a
2세트, 2세트,
scuttle crab.
3세트까지.
T1 maintains control over the
그래도
top side river.
2세트는 BLG가 처음에
BLG gets
좋았었는데.
sucked into the action.
Yeah,
We've
it's like
been
they're
seeing it
getting
throughout
sucked
the
into a
series,
chat.
and they're
Exactly,
looking
they're getting
for
sucked in by T1. Like,
Okay, Carrier
They're
might
literally-
be the target here for the BLG engage. Finds a nice 3-man
Oh, wait.
pulverize.
I think I
Drops
cursed.
the
I
unbreakable
cursed
will,
T1.
but they'll break him anyway. They just want to give the
I
money
jinxed
over to
T1?
him, bring him back
Guma?
into the game.
Oh,
Beautiful play from On.
oh
Shut down
my.
for
Okay, that's a good ult
Knight.
from
Another Devil in
Owner,
bail.
but they're just gonna
Advantage
run
to flash
away.
away from the turret.
No.
BLG don't lose a man, and they find 2
Never gonna
critical
talk
picks.
again.
These are the type of plays we need to be seeing from BLG. Pick after pick, getting more control on the map, converting these picks into objectives as well. The mid tower has been secured.
BLG
Try
was
and
getting
help
sucked
and
into
support,
the
but there's
auto
little you
parts
can
of
do.
the-
Knight has already
And Guma's
collapsed.
flash was good,
Guma
but-
doing his best to sidestep, but he doesn't have any
He
summons.
literally
Then
dodged
On
everything and then
with a
bomba.
fantastic ulti, sets up for the shutdown on
이게
tonight.
그라가스가 되게 침착하게
And Owner's
공쳤다.
forced to retreat. T1 lose a few members, they lose that mid tier 1, and BLG fight back here in game 3.
T1 still with a 2-0 Drake lead, however, and 10 seconds until the third Drake of the game spawns. BLG do not want to give this one away for free, as T1 try to hit him with a couple of skill shots on the way through. Ward over the wall from BLG, going to see the Drake get pulled. T1 do not want to allow it to just sit in the pit, and Beishwan is ready to try to challenge.
No steals from Beishwan. Don't overgrade for Dragon. Look for team fight, but don't also.
Ward's trying to keep an eye here on the Dragon as On tries to throw a barrel out. T1 still with control over the objective, but Beishwan is in range. We could get a smite fight.
Guys, Alistar! Spam the smite for Carrier! I love you, Carrier!
He's ready to die.
I love you,
T1's
Carrier!
now, but Doran's gonna be
Okay, can
killing
we
him
win the
at very
fight though?
start.
Can we win the fight
The only
though?
one caught in
Baker's
front
doing
of
crazy
and
that. Okay,
BLG's
never mind.
running the fight.
Shotgun
Carrier's
coming
gonna
through.
die
Carrier has a
He
flash.
tries to get
Guys!
the flashes into the
Faker
wall,
literally.
and now Faker, the next
Oh,
target.
you should have taken it too. You should have taken
BLG
it. You should have
are
taken
finally
it.
gonna get him.
궁 그냥 타지.
Going for another,
궁 그냥
and Carrier barely
터지.
hobbles away.
좋았는데.
BLG may have lost the Drake,
He saved
but they
Carrier and then
absolutely
died.
smashed the fight.
There's more action back to live.
BLG looking to force down the Otacon, trying to fight their way
Oh,
back
they
into the
got
game.
it, they got it, they got it.
Doran's
Doran's trying to punish
but the
this.
fight
Doran's trying to
afterwards
punish.
is ready to rage.
We have to be
Faker
patient.
with a rune prison on to bin, but Doran might drop.
Nice, Doran lives,
Heal
Doran lives,
off
Doran
bin
lives.
and
Okay,
save the
okay.
croc.
Just
Owner
calm down, calm down,
looking
calm
for an
down.
approach here
천천히,
off the
천천히.
side. Yes, T1
그리고
gets
저
back
for
a kill,
bomba.
but that's a
그러면 still
massive
bomba.
swing over to BLG. They've got plus a 1,000 real gold lead, but then look at
We
the
do
flowers.
have 3 dragons, soul
29
point,
to
guys,
6,
soul point.
plus 23 flowers.
3명
It's about
먹었어,
a
근데.
2,000 gold lead in that
Okay,
stat
언노.
for BLG. Carry is looking to go in and make the dive, and On's going to be caught by the Ishtal impact. Faker flashing back,
아까의
making sure he
포크스다.
doesn't die.
나쁜
Elkin Knight.
Knight is
So
really
fight
fun though this game.
At the
Knight 선수가
precipice
잘
of completing
커가지고
that death
2,000
cap
gold
will
lead
give
on
him
Faker,
so much
6
damage.
kills.
And we said at the
After
beginning of
ulti.
this game that he needed to step up. Beishwan very low.
Yeah, Beishwan caught up by the rune prison there, wants to vault break his way away, but the Realm Orb's ready to catch him out.
No, Faker!
Back up his jungler, and Beishwan at 8 HP.
8!
Walks away.
8!
He face checks into Faker.
8!
And Faker
What do you
ambitiously
mean 8
chases
HP?
after his target, but he will not secure the kill.
아니 저건 진짜 너무
Looking to
값인데.
secure that top
와.
tower, getting a bit more of a gold injection.
Walking in as well.
The flux
6
coming
HP,
dangerously
6.
close to securing
I'm covering it,
that
but
kill.
여기 보였지만
As we say
It
in
was
the
2.
business,
2?
not even close.
Not even close. 2 HP,
2
too
HP.
many.
나는
That's what
나는
the
6인 줄
deal
알았는데
is
6도 아니고
for
2까지
Beishwan.
내려갔었구나.
All calculated all the time.
Wow,
He gets away
what the
from
hell.
it. For the
줘도
lethality,
될
there's
것
10
같기도 하고.
seconds
We could look to give
until
it, but I don't
the
know.
Mountain Soul for T1
They
spawns,
don't have
but
flash
it's
spots.
BLG
Ryze doesn't
with
have
the
flash either.
combat stat advantage.
근데 주는
with
것보다
the slight
싸우는 게
gold lead,
좋은 게
with control
상대가
over the
스펠이
bot
없긴
side
하거든.
river.
아리바이가
As
아직
T1
스펠 없는 거 알아요.
Rooked up. They're going for a realm.
T1
They're going to try to start this up and maybe burst it down. They demand
No
a
way.
response from
Are you
BLG instead.
They're running
They
there,
don't
but
wanna
they're
walk into
far.
BLG. They're going to make BLG walk
Alistair
into
doesn't
them.
have
The
smite
Barons
though.
are
알리가
down to
근데
half
스마일
HP,
없습니다.
but
Roach
BLG
fell
has
smite this time.
arrived. What is the call from T1? They're going to disengage it, it looks like, but they're still staying aggroed onto the Baron. It's down to 4K, 3K on a Knight trying to step up. The Baron is claimed by T1. Bins into the back line, and now he's in danger. Owner
my gosh, Owner's smites are on point today. And when Owner does not smite, guess what? Carrier has spellbook smite. We're good. We're good. We're banger. 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 T1 classic Baron. T1 클래식이다 진짜. T1은 어떻게 바론각을 저렇게 잘 보는지 진짜 나 너무 신기해. We have Dragon as well, so the Dragon still as well.
So they just don't. They make BLG answer them instead. They win the fight. They earn the Baron. They secure the soul.
미드 여기에서 여기로 그냥 걸어갈 거리인데. 걸어가도 되는 거리인데.
And it gives so much time for BLG to actually respond, but they
let's
just
watch
cannot
it.
find an angle. We look back at this MasterCard price this
Owner
morning.
is just solo tanking Baron and waiting.
In this window, a lot of damage is done to Doran. Bin goes in onto the
바이가
backline, but there's no
들어오기
follow-up
전에
because BLG's focus is
와.
divided.
H1, you made a mistake there, my guy. 바이가 너무 멀었어요. 그래서 이제 빨리 보스 할 수 있는 각이 나왔고.
And T1 just turned this into pick after pick after pick. Elk has nothing left. Even with the flash, there's nowhere for him to go.
페이커 선수 그 표정 나왔다. 저 그 입 있잖아요. 입술 모양이 엄청 집중했었죠.
Really well done there. Owners Impale also locking up Beishwan so that the Vi can't jump in with the Ambessa. There's no two-pronged threat. And T1 now with the Baron pushing up that last sequence. Also earned Owner his 1,000th assist at international tournaments.
That expression is like when
Faker's
Faker's like super
as T1 now going to get collapsed on potentially.
GG for enemy team when Faker
wants the angle, but Owner's already found the pull. Beishwan's down, and T1's bringing in the backup. A nice blade collar from Elk, but is it enough? Doran pops the dominus, and Elk's feathers fly. Carrier and Gumayushi putting more damage into Knight as Carrier might just die.
Carrier's not good.
Point blank piercing arrow finds a little.
Guma's not good. Guma run! Oh my gosh.
Beautifully done.
What the hell?
Faker dominating with the kill on Bin.
You're killing Ambessa up there. Ambessa를 잡았는데.
Overstep on the bot side, and they give an angle for Knight to find the outplay. Working with Elk, they do massive damage.
I just got a strong. We have to watch out.
The Baron
던지면 안
losing some value.
돼요.
Of course, still a massive Red Bull Baron power play, but Knight holds the line for now.
나이트 아래 조심해. 8 kills on Knight, by the way.
BLG.
It all comes down to patience. Right now, it's T1 with the mountain
T1 with all
soul,
this
keeping the
pink
mid
있어요.
push up.
T1
The
핑어가
Baron
겁나
spawning in
많죠.
35 seconds. T1 know that they're stronger. They have
이게
a lot of
바론
poke,
쪽
and
시야를
you're seeing it
상대가
on your
못 잡아.
screen right
바론
now.
쪽 시야를
Guma
잡으려면
can make
핑어가
it very
필요한데
difficult for BLG
그라스
to
두
approach the
개 바이
objective.
한 개? 끝.
Bin coming back out of the
T1은
base now
지금
has his death stance. Shojin and Eclipse.
탑라이너가 핑어를 두 개를 쓰고
BLG trying to step forward.
진짜 웬만하면 탑라이너가 핑어 하기 싫어하거든요. 단 한 개도 사기 싫어하는데
We know
Doran
that
bought
they're
2
not
pink
afraid of the
for
objective. BLG, I completely agree with you, Vedius. They need to find the angles. They need to be coordinated. They need to all be playing like a machine if they want to win this next fight against the Mountain Soul. T1, keep your eyes on Faker in the realm.
So huge right
nice
now.
piercing arrow from Gumayushi.
Oh my gosh, Guma's just landing everything on all. 그라스가 근데 지금 싸움 불가능 상태인데.
BLG.
Gragas is out of the fight. Oh my gosh, these poking from T1 is such a good. Gumayushi literally just hitting everything. 세체 봐. 세계 최고 바루스. The number 1 Varus in the world. T1's looking determined. They're not walking around.
Doran's coming around from behind. The dominant flash with the predator. Next, somebody gonna be locked up. Carrier's got the follow. It's over. It's done. T1.
I have goosebumps right now. I have goosebumps on my arm right now. 지금 진짜 닭살 돋았어. 소름 돋았어. 아니 진짜 이거 솔직히 이렇게 말하면 좀 그러긴 한데 에일이나 젠지보다 더 잘해. 지금 이 경기 봐봐 내용이. 방금 봐봐요. 그냥 한 타각이랑 싸움각을 너무 이니시각도 너무 잘 잡고 게임을 이기는 방법을 너무 잘하는 것 같아. T1 is literally playing the perfect League of Legends. Okay, they do make mistakes here and there, but like
It was not clear who would be the favorites in this
200
matchup. But T1
200
established their
wins.
authority. Faker makes his way to 200 wins. and they set their sights on a rematch
When
against
is
their
Faker gonna
rivals of
retire?
GNG.
Like 20 years from now.
LCK fans looking forward to that one. You already said it.
20
And we
years
go
from now,
back
Faker's still
to
gonna
what
be
we
number
heard
one.
from the
Still
carries of
playing.
T1 after their 5-game
아니
brutal
오늘
series
고전파
against
나왔습니다요.
CFO. We heard Faker say
During
he
the
looks
interview.
forward to the match, but he thinks it would be
뭐야?
easier than CFO
Bye-bye.
was.
Bye,
The
Faker.
numbers would align with what
Bye-bye.
he said. Gumayushi
젠지
talking
나와!
even a little bit more trash,
젠지!
saying we're going to make them
LCK
relive
finals that we
that
missed out
final.
on, huh?
They did.
LCK
They made it
파이널
to
우리가
their
못
fifth summit
봤던
at
LCK
least
파이널.
because BLG
이번에 LCK 결승전이
could not find their
없었어가지고
footing
젠지
in
T1
this series. The
결승을 못
bracket in front of you
봤었는데
now. Gen G
이렇게
versus
국제전
T1,
MSI에서
July
결승을
9th.
보게 된
But
부분
before that, the lower
오히려 좋아.
brackets and the lower bracket
구마유씨!
and the other lower bracket
마지막에
matchup will
포킹하고
be BLG
상대방
going
너무
against
불편했다.
FlyQuest.
Enemy team was
A
so
lot
uncomfortable
of
because Guma
exciting
landed
matches
everything.
coming our way
Guma landed
as we see
everything
our
at the end
Davis Delta
when they were
champions here
doing
at the
their
very
little
end.
dance in the mid lane.
Gumayushi
And they had
topping the
no vision on
tables.
Baron side because
Lethality
even
Varus
Doran
piloted
got
by
2
a
ping wars.
world-class AD carry
도란
is
선수까지
gonna
핑화를
get
2개를
that
사고
done.
T1
And
선수는
now
다
we're
핑화
joining
들고 있었거든.
Shox and
상대는
G7
핑화가
with Doran to the
2-3개밖에
horizon.
없었는데.
But we have a little gift for you to improve maybe just one small part of your training.
도란 선수가 또 언제나 노력도 정말 많이 하시고 연습도 많이 하시고 실력도
Okay, gift for
뛰어나시지만
Doran?
연습에 더 도움이 되라고
Don't tell me you're
저희가 선물을
gifting
하나
pet rocks.
준비했습니다.
Pet Crocs. Pet Crocs. 돌거부. Pet Crocs.
거북. 펫 볼 거북입니다. 어떠신가요?